Так, тест, перевірка, чи є звук, тест. Так, звук є. Good. Значить, жива сцена, тут не закриваю. Отже, всім привіт! З вами містер Майя знову. Ми продовжуємо проходження сценарію. Сюжету, а не сценарію. Сюжету Come Deliverance. Ми шукаємо якогось рижого. Я трошки без трансляції поіграв, щоб прокачати персонажа. Ми в містечку Нойхов. Десь тут нас точка веде сюди в цей туман. Поговори з рижогами на югі. На півдні поговорити з Урле Паліям. Так воно звучить. Може так неправильно. Знаю, зараз ще цього чувака, що продає коней, підійду. Перепрошую, трохи прихворів.
Good health to you.
Any chance of some...
It all depends on what you're ready to... I'm sure you've noticed the roads around... Sir Hanush has declared quite a reward.
So what do you think I should do about it?
We know about one of their encampments. It's to the east of... I don't really mind how you deal with them. Anyway, the leaders generally wear spurs. Maybe... In any case, bring me the spurs. And I'll...
Very well.
Wait. In addition, Sir Hanush has offered a reward for every bandit who's killed. So take a good sharp dagger.
Very well.
Well, as for amusement, I did. Good luck to you.
Окей. Так, дав мені ще одну роботку. На топорах.
Can you teach...
Certainly.
Захисту.
I'd like to hope...
First, you have to...
Well.
I'll be with you.
Сокира з тобою, так? Цікаво, так, добре, а де мені? По конях, я вже собі коня купив нового, чи що? Цей порівняй. Такий він крутіший. Правда? Ніж мій кінь. Такі в кого це робити, я щось не догадуюсь. Чуваки поумирали, може їх повбивали. Ось там якісь тіпи стоять. Охоронець. Ну, а тут є якась стоянка. О, Зора. Може в Зори?
Good afternoon.
Так, я хотів...
I'd like to buy a...
I'm glad to hear it. Have you looked them over?
Not yet.
Then go and have a look in the stables, so you know what you're buying. God bless.
Угу. Окей. Зара. Ти що? Ти хто? 30, 28, 11, 29. Окей. Як їх буде відрізнити, якщо вони і то лошадь, і то лошадь. Це от крута. 37 швидкісна. А скільки носити можеш? 220, 90, 270. Та 298, 228 містимість. Але 30 швидкість, а то є аж 37, дуже швидка. Ну, окей. І що?
I'd like to buy...
I'm glad to hear. Have you looked them over?
I have.
The best there are. Is there one in particular?
I'll have to...
Good luck then.
Маю сідла. 4 сідільні сумки. Зброя, доспіх, пища. Так, а як мені добре? Щось дивно. Краду получится. кабана заберу. Перебивці. Я ж хочу...
I'd like to buy a.
I'm glad to hear.
Yeah,
Have you
no.
looked them over?
Так, вже
have.
бачив.
The best there are. Is there one in particular?
I'll have to think it.
Що за бред? Як я маю вибрати того коня? Ти вже крадеш. Якийсь бред, коротше. Давайте робити міці. Якось поза стрімом роздуплюсь, як коней купляти.
Yeah.
Чорний гарний кінь. А ну тут заглядаю піду. Так. Лошадь. От вони всі лошадь. Як я це можу відділити когось? Своє має назву.
Yeah.
Купила моя тівка. Так.
Yeah.
Починається з цим відправити в товти, так? Вождя, лагеря. Поки що не цікавить мене таке. Ну, але потім
Я!
поза стрімом, можна буде походити. Повалити розбійників. Заробити пару грошей. Я даю сідла, і тут таке дороге, що капець. Я на коня. Це дуже дороге. Там вже є лагерь. Ти мені щось скажеш.
Good day to you.
Так, я
I'm
шукаю
looking for a
рижого.
ginger hair boy.
We ain't friends with no
He works as a stable boy.
I know where that is. But I don't know no. Take care now.
Брехун. Брехун, брехун.
What do you want?
Good day to you.
Мені
Could you help me?
допомога.
Depends what you want.
I'm looking for ginger.
Sorry. There's never been.
A murder's been committed.
There's been murder up.
There'll be a lot less.
Calm down, lad. For the love of God. There's been no one like the boy you want round here. You might want to hurry. You're not the first to be asking about him. And
They didn't happen to say what they wanted him for.
no. But they definitely didn't look like they...
All right.
Good luck to you.
I still have. Do you have any idea?
You said he was friends with the
No,
charcoal,
Shem.
but
But that forest is huge.
then follow the...
All right.
God be with you.
Так, ще одну точку возьму на карті.
Yeah.
Є. Давай, кобилка, в'йо. А далеко хоч їхати?
Yeah.
Погнали. Його на конику. Тут гра прикольна, тому що напрягають ці далекі період. Ти постійно через півкарти мусиш валити в тих місіях. Себе може це по сюжету ще може ні, ну от коли ти робиш оці додаткові місії, там. Поїдь туди, поїдь сюди, поїдь туди, поїдь сюди. І так цілий час. Зад вперед по тій карті. Ти хто?
I can't go on.
Чо? Чо думаєш ти? Що тобі бракує?
What happened to you?
The farmer threw me out with my little girl. The bastard. He fathered it himself. And then and I'm left with nothing but to beg here at the roadside. God have mercy. Can you help me, sir? A little coin? They drive me from the village, but if I bring a groschen or two to the...
Don't you want to go to Ratai? There are other refugees.
No, sorry, sir, but I won't go there. Wouldn't you have a little bit of food for me, sir? Even a crust of stale bread?
Food?
Та не?
What about this?
Thank you, sir.
Все добре. А то гроші даш, а вона їх пробухає. Алкоголічка. Так, хліба може хоч поїсти. Мені самому не треба поїсти. 55, то мені там голодати не може, інакше бонусів не буде. Значить, треба поїсти. Так, яблучко. Сушені фрукти, сушені гриби. 1, 2, 3. 1,67. Ще 2 яблука теж можуть з'їсти. 71. О, нормально. Іди маловато, звісно, те, що їди буду зараз купити.
Yeah.
Як закінчу з місією. Лодка роздовбана. Він одразу й виїхав на тих вугілля, ті, що палять вугілля.
I'm at your... Has anyone here
Я
seen...
шукаю
That
рижого.
boy from the
Yes, that's the one.
Oh, he's not here. But he passed through not long ago, on the way to Talmberg. May the Lord watch over you.
Так, на захід. Російський як захід. Запад. З. Тоже є вон. Вилізти. Окей, якби зубами вибирав. Захід річкою. Річка є вон там, то я таки річкою піду. Точок. Так тут мною. До речі, всі місце не хоче. 90 нормально. Що треба було ще на коня кидати? Так, вони близько виходить, ну. Якийсь будинок вроді. Перевірити. Вверх. І що? І що ми тут знаходимо? Що причудилось? Немає ніякого будинку. Нема. Що це таке? Галюцинації. Ворон'я порозліталися. Там ще якийсь місточок є.
Mother of God! You look like you've been assaulted.
What did you do?
What are you trying to pin on me, you bastard? It was you.
I didn't kill anyone. When I got here, the body...
What are you doing here, nearby?
I'm travelling the province in the service...
Sir Radzig. Heavens. Begging your pardon. All right. I suppose you're innocent after...
I'm glad you saw some... And what were you doing here?
What do you mean by that?
You were looting the body right here.
What of it? A corpse?
It'll be easier if...
All right, then. I did it. I didn't want to kill her, only to scare her. She lunged at... And this is how it ended. You don't really have to tell anyone, do... And...
I won't take coin to cover up a murder.
Goodbye.
Зажири, падло. Перевірю, що тут є. Гроші. Їх можна забрати. Походу. Так, ходимо, догнав її. Чи ні? Де ти є? Втікла? Ніби собака. О. Ого, вас тут двоє. Троє, ё-моё. Так, тихо.
You call that combat?
Завжди нас трохи на достав, да? Не знаю цього. Щит не діти.
Bring it on.
Going to cry.
Is that all you got?
Та тупасить получить.
Come here, Lily.
Fucking hell!
Хоч одного прокну.
You'll get one.
Спати. Так, ти не перевертай. Знаєш, тут... Ну, так, бісить від мене.
Is that
Щоб є.
Rispondi, Corcad.
Свій полоси понабігали. Ти туди по кущах пішов. Сумасшедший. Я понял, все, я понял. Давай. Окей. Правий 100%. Ви праві. Насипали мені добряче. Треба було таку банду напоротися. Ой-ой-ой, що тут що світься тільки? Ого. Окей. Скоренько. Погнати. Схопити. Ой. Боже мій. Моменти. Поїдь туди, блін. Завалили, блін, на 5 більше. Так, поки ми їдемо, народ, хто буде приходити на відео або зараз на стрім, не забувайте підписуватись на канал обов'язково, підписувати, саме головне. Лайки, коменти, що хочете. Коменти відповідаю, любі, питайте, що хочете, що цікаво. Наступну гру не знаю, маю цього шаленого Макса. Mad Max. Це що по фільму. Планую його, напевно, грати. Сам буде видно. Наразі таким танками грати. Хочу пройти весь сюжет, хоча б. Старший углішок, давай.
God be. Could you help me?
Мені потрібна допомога, так,
I'm
давай.
murdered. There'll be a.
Парні проблеми.
They didn't happen to.
No.
Ти вже проходили. Куди
You
я
have-
міг піти, і ти мені даєш точку
Alright.
пройти.
God
Клас.
be with you.
Молодець. Погнали. Бум-барам-барам-бам-барам-бам-бам. В'є, кобилка, в'є. То їх по народу налетіли. Всі мене добасили, головне. Щось трошки між собою пробували, а потім почали всі мене разом добасити. Було, звичайно, втекти, але... Смисл. То вже пса мали, до речі. Кидався на мене. Я ще цього не зустрічав тут. Я свого пса навчився травити на когось, щоб на мене ще такого не мав. Ромію літає над трупом коня. Треба було за тою бабою бігти. Тут в неї збити бабла і хай вивалила. Так, чекай, зараз кине мене. Ми вже це проходили. А зразу скидає, як мучить. Так, паркан взяли. Ну, так, розбити тележку. Зараз буде так. Є. Ладно. Не відправлені. Назад.
God's sake.
Так, я
You know-
шукаю рижого.
This
May the Lord watch over you.
Ти не знаєш, так? А ти?
God be with-
Старшого.
I'm searching.
I know.
He's run away from the.
Well,
May the Lord watch over you.
Де той ваш старший, той мені зараз щось скаже, воїн.
Better ask me.
I'm honoured.
I'm looking for Jin.
I know him.
There's a few questions.
Well, he'll...
And
he... What?
Down. Yes.
Some of them. Take care now.
Окей. Окей. На севере? Зараз було на западі. Я на останньому берегу. Окей. Дивно. Нехай буде. Через 3 повезло. Так, и шо? Нет, а ну,
God be with you.
ну скажи.
Where are you hiding, Jin?
How did you...
Don't try that one on me. I know he's friends with a pair of twins from here. I'm here on the orders of Sir Hanush, and I need to talk to.
If Sir Hanush sent you, then you should deal with those two cutthroats who've been creeping around here asking about the poor boy. Won't you take care of...
Угу.
All right, I'll deal.
Right. You get rid of them.
So where can I find these?
I'm not sure exactly. There's lots of places to hide around here. But they came and went over the bridge, so I reckon...
That's a lot of woods to comb.
Not all that much. There's a path around there somewhere leading... May the Lord watch over you.
Добре, що ти їх баранів шукати. Там поштом сиділи. Таким містком. Місток. Через місток. Ну там є місток. Велика територія. О, здоровенна. А тільки на це треба було збрехати, що я їх вже вбив. Чи треба зразу щита вдіти? О. Ну є якась стежка є. Пішли стежкою. Я напевно тих дікарів напорюся. Там купа було. Ні? Стоп між двома лагерями. Тут десь чи що? Я не в ту сторону пішов. Що за квіти? Ні? Декоративні? Так, і де ті бандити? Десь там пес гавкає зліва. То міч, то їхній. По свого по голосу не відрізняю. Ну, от є. Десь посередині є стежка. Пішки ходжу. Де мій кінь? Не поняй.
Then again, they might split your skull with it.
Во воно. Я так промчався, навіть не замітили толком, що сталося, так?
What do we do then? Sit tight and keep watch. Sooner or later, that boy will turn up and secure it.
Тихо, сиди тут. Вони зараз розтягнуться, я одного вбив. Я їх подушу трохи. О. Полягали спати, чудово.
Hey, who's there?
Хто сказав? Так вообще не палено, на пів лісу. Так. Блін, не встиг.
Is someone there?
Що, ти хто?
Greetings, my good man.
Ask first.
Really? Good then. We're looking for gin.
I don't know anyone called that.
What a shame. We're worried.
Truly, I haven't seen him. If I were you,
Oh, definitely.
Тихо.
Gone weak at the knees, have you? What's the matter?
Та-дай.
Dear God.
Це? Прилетіло прикольно, да? Добити. Черта. Голова і прикольна. Як попав, то попав зразу конкретно. Шкура кабана, чудово. Яблучко. Рукавиці. Мисливки. Добити треба. Ламав. Так, сукіра, що це фігня. А це ті ж я не його напоровся. Це якісь інакші. Це взагалі ніякі. Я з ними спокійно розібрався без проблем. Що вони тут мали? Коров'я шкура. Все, собача шкура і пов'язки. Ботота. в мене з їдою 52 можна помити. Його варіва. 70. Чудово. Так, я сою маю кинути. Яблука. І сплошні яблука. А ну, перевіримо. О, сорі, набрехав. Де мій кінь? Коняка. Головне, друг банду не напороти. Я перший раз напоровся. Я цю коня вкладати не буду. Що мені в пані? Тут занадто багато і занадто озброєні. Тут босяки сиділи ні з чим. Зверху рубаючий, по голові полетів, чувак приліг. Без шлема. Так, чуваки, я їх знайшов, давай, кажи, де риб.
You don't have to worry about those bandits.
Really? And I suppose I...
If you want proof, I can take you to them. Maybe.
I'll take your word for it. All right, a bargain's a bargain. Ginger is hiding out in a ruined hut not far from here. There's an overgrown path that leads from there right to where Ginger is. Keep your eyes peeled, though.
Good. Thanks for your help.
God be with you.
О.
Yeah.
А давай на поперек, що? Є конкретне місце проїхати. Тики-дик на коня. Тики-дик. О, не прийшов. Лазь давай. Що за твої квіти? Здоров.
Jesus, you've led me a merry dance.
What?
I want to ask you a couple of questions. Why did you run off like that?
What?
Right, one thing at a time. And now tell me exactly what, and don't leave any...
That's quite...
Don't worry, I won't get bored.
All right. I woke up in the middle of the night because I needed to go for a piss. Only there was something there that shouldn't have been. At first I thought it was just a trick, then it was too late. They went past and I thought they must be horse thieves. I would have yelled, only I was afraid they'd kill me. So I waited until they were out of sight and I started to sneak away.
Then the slaughtering started.
Yes. I thought they'd steal the horses and ride off. That would be bad enough, but it was terrible.
And then?
It seemed some of them didn't like it either. They started squabbling among themselves, and some of them started running back where they came from, right towards me. And I had that thing in my hand.
So you stabbed the first one in the belly?
No. He ran right into me. He was running fast for a fellow with a limp. He pushed me aside and I fell on the ground. Then he told me I'd better lie low. I did what he said and hid.
And then?
Then I waited in case that limping one from Ujits came back. I didn't dare come out.
Do you know what they argued?
I didn't hear everything, but I reckon some of them were only there to steal, and...
Так, Що
What about the others?
решти?
Was there anything you noticed?
I don't know. There might have been maybe 8 of them.
Дуже високі.
That sounds terrible.
Як відчуваєш?
If only I yelled.
If you had, you'd most likely be dead. You probably wouldn't have done.
But still.
There was nothing you could do. That's all. I've heard everything I need to hear, so I'll...
Wait! What about me?
Perhaps I could.
I'd like to go back to the stud farm, but those cutthroats who want to kill...
They're out of the way. I ran into them.
Really?
What?
I'm afraid to go back to the farm. I ran away, and God knows what they'll think.
Just try, and you...
I suppose you're right.
Шуруй. Не буду я щось тут в тебе їздити і там пробивати. Так, ти пішов, так? Окей, я собі скрив. Ходем. Шкура оленя. Коров'яча, лошадіна. Шкуру оленя можна взяти. Вони дорогі. Кабанячий клик. Пов'язки 4. Шкура оленя, кабана. Все? Да. Так, є. Добре, що тепер? Куди мені гнати? О, нарешті не треба пішки їхати. То що? На, тут в лагері. Так, виключити. Ну, мені не маячив. А, їдь в Нойнхоф той. Зараз на ніч приїдеш. Чим вона однована? Тим, що я сховав шкіру на цього, в сумку на коня.
Yeah.
Що ви тут такі стоїте, пасетесь? Я вже все вияснив без вас. Сумки. Стояли. З тобою говорити. Ага. Бернард.
Good day to you.
I talked to Ginger and found out what...
Out with it then.
Ginger fled because he recognized one of the raiders. He was a...
Well, he was right. They were asking about...
He didn't know his name. Some...
All right. Since you've gone this far, you may as well ask around in Uzhitz. We've enough to do here in these parts anyway. Sir Radzik will take... Take care now.
Так, що ти пану радці? Окей. Куди я можу? Воно тут? Як так може бути? А, о! Стоїть двері підпирає.
What do you...
My lord, I managed to find a clue.
Excellent. Bernard already told me what's been happening, but I'd like...
The whole story, or just...
It's up to you what you can...
One of the Neuhoff stable boys, a lad they called Ginger, fled from there and hid out with some charcoal burners. I have to say, there's a lot of them around. I never thought how many forges and ironwork...
That's true, but keep to the...
Oh, yes, sir. I had quite a job finding him. He was well hidden and with good reason. The bandits wanted to kill him because he recognized...
Did he tell you what happened?
He said it wasn't one gang, but two. And one of them took fright when the slaughter started. Seems they were only interested in loot, so they quarrelled with the other lot. Then it came to a skirmish in the woods.
And did you find out where they went?
All I know is one of them is from Uzhitz. I know enough about...
All right, but those cutthroats must know who he is too, right? And if they want to get revenge on him or silence him, you'd better hope they don't get to him before you. So drop everything and get on his trail. I'm going to our encampment at Merhayed to oversee the security of the region.
Yes, sir.
Good luck to you.
Це там. Відправляєш мене сюди, так? Ну, окей. Поїхали. Так, є. Через ліс річкою. Попри ліс, ладно. Так, маємо нічку. Треба йти в цей. Трактир. Хто знає, ясно, що трактирщик. Корчмар. Український корчма. Ні, я не сюди хотів. Я хотів сюди. О, можна міняти. Так. Рудий, врятований. Шукаємо. Якби по-українськи хромий. То бляха москалі працюють. Забув рідну мову. Кульгавий. Шукаємо кульгавого. Де шинок? Корчма, шинок, як хочеш називай. Вон вона заді мене десь. О, тут зорі. Перепрошую. Народ, хто приходить на стрім, не забувайте підписатись на канал. Лайки, коменти, добавте.
He's got a nerve coming back here. Well,
Так.
I'm looking for a fellow who lives here, but I don't know his...
And what would you want with him? Well,
Поняв.
Is there some...
all right. For how long?
Нам нужен
No problem.
Here you are.
You all like it here.
Хочеш поїсти? Ладно, конина. Опускаю це. Так, пюрещичеві ці дві штуки. Хороше вино. Ковбаса. Ти гавкаєш, на.
Look what I've... You'll...
Так. Без... Можете лягати спати, так? Так, не стон, зразу на ранок. Сам спати хочу. Ще трохи треба закруглятися вже на сьогодні. На вихідних продовжити. Ну, але ще трошки сиджу. Ще першої навіть нема. Далеко то його хата. Тут в самому внизу. На коня.
Yeah. Yeah.
Тут? Тут. Ага, народ вже позбігався. Що, забили його? Чи ні? Треба вночі йти, може? В селі двіжуха, буде про що поговорити.
Move along, citizens. Move along. There's nothing to see here.
That's what you call nothing to see. I'd like to know what something to see looks like.
By the keys of St. Peter, this is all I need. We'll have to send word to Sir Hanush.
That might not be necessary.
Who are you?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, in the service of Hanush's Captain Bernard. I'm investigating the attack at Neuhof, and I think this could be related.
Well, I'm the bailiff of Auschwitz. And I say we don't want any of that kind of trouble around here. What makes you think this has anything to do with Neuhof?
One of the folk at the stud farm recognized someone from Auschwitz among the bandits.
We have no bandits or murderers around here.
Really?
Да прям.
They say he had a limp?
Shit. Well, allow me to introduce you to Limpy Lubosh. Or all that's left of him.
Sakra.
Розпняли.
Nothing's ever easy. I'll have to take a look around and ask a few more questions, if that's all right with you.
You can take this mess off my hands and welcome to it. As for what else there is to find out, I don't know. But look and ask all you like.
Перепрошую.
Who was Limpy Lubosh?
A poor crofter and a scoundrel. Can't say I'm... He kept company with all sorts of vermin. He was always getting in...
How come he limped?
He got that from some villainy or brawl a long time ago.
Has he been up to anything?
I don't know. The last few days he didn't go anywhere.
Did he have any...
None. A loner he was. I don't know the last time I...
Do you happen to know where...
I've no idea. He kept his distance from other folk, so you never knew if...
God be with.
I've come in the name...
Ask away.
Who was this Lubosh who was...
He was a drunkard and a beast. And lazy too.
Have you noticed any...
The only thing seemed suspicious was how a rogue like him suddenly started going to church. Now I see why.
Do you know what
What do I care about that?
Do you know who
He was always a loner. Except lately.
That's all.
Окей.
Goodbye.
Говорити. Я бачу.
My respect.
I've come in...
I don't know.
That man Lou...
I didn't really know him. He kept him.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Well, come to think of it, he was in I was wondering.
That's all.
God be with
Синзом говорити. Найміть. Бля. Прикольно готово, ребята. Здорово, верхні, на горбах живуть. Знак злапав, короче, блін. Я це постійно роблю. Не знаю для чого. Так, я вмився. Давай. Туруруруру, туруруруру. Туруру. А сопілочка собі грає. Так, по-моєму, стиксом зашукати. Де він є? А он стоїть. Не заходь до хати, стій! Стій, кажу! Зараза. Тримай. А що ж ти мені перед носом все затикаєш, а? Стій. It's Bohuta.
The blessings of our good Lord. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanush is employing children as investigators. But ask as you wish.
Did you know Lubosh?
Bit of a lost soul. Simple, rough fellow, but at heart I don't...
Did you notice anything?
My child, all sorts of suspicious things have been going on recently. People like Lubosh don't...
That's really not...
I'm sorry to hear that.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing on the day?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like...
What?
I'm bound by certain vows that forbid me to tell...
Vows more important than catching danger?
There are laws of God above the laws of man.
Та давай кажи, чуєш.
Father, surely...
There are things that apply always, no matter what...
Окей, чи він шуганути? О.
For heaven's sake, Father, can you really look me in the eye and tell me?
I can't...
Father, Lubosh, if I don't find...
I wouldn't. But I can't betray the sanctity of the confessional. Suppose we talk it over in the evening.
All right.
Farewell.
Ти задовбав, що з тобою ходи по байбі. Любовні, це було би класно. Та й куди я не хотів їсти? Серце? Я застараюся вирухати.
Have you thought of a way to...
Let's leave it for the evening. Do you have any work? My dear lad, I have more worries than I can. I have to deal with a local witch.
A witch?
The herb woman.
Oh, don't tell me.
This is no...
Боже, ще якось. Ні,
This isn't...
God be with you.
ні, я зараз того точно робити не буду. Так, в корчму він казав йти. Так, що нам тут чекати треба було? Все правильно, журнал. Ага, все вечером в корчме. Окей. Пострелимо. А може книжку зможу читати, ну? Методика сюди, буде модна якась. Казав мені, що він щось затупий, щоб прочитати. Ну, такі. Окей, буду чекати його просто. З вечора. Отак, сюди. Щось тут, кстати, блин, так крутиш того. Що, є вже час тут чи нема?
Cheers!
Всередині.
I'd like a beer.
Так, їде. Ой, як зонт.
Blessings of our...
And with you, lad.
Як ти задолбав мене.
Here, just as you ordered.
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son.
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh.
They're dead.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. It must have been terrible.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. I didn't make it to the castle.
I'd like a beer.
I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of a church in Rovna. Folk who tried to take refuge.
My poor child. May God...
Satisfied?
And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish...
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujits, so he sent me here to find...
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out. Now the most important thing. What actually happened at Noyo? The good...
The rumours aren't exaggerated. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh...
I see it's every bit as bad. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointless.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much... Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down... So, about this confessional seal.
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even...
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end.
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
If I tell you what Lubosh told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret.
Word of honor?
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where else do you get the idea?
Well, Ujits isn't Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible...
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard.
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. A tongue lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life. Especially if they're about fornication.
Can you give me...
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching. I'm thinking about putting it...
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan, the lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay. What if the devil himself were to pay? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot. Look to your consciences, you... Amen!
The best
well, this Jan Hus character is quite...
Oh, the
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to...
Funny.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those...
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been... it's getting quite...
What do you suppose?
That's...
I knew you wouldn't let me do...
Навели з батюшкою.
Przyszła bida mora lat, to nie ustoi żadnej chlap. Na kraj padł desej smutek, do mnie loi rano utek, niech już małżeński majstrat, do wczera żylne staje brak. Už se jí bojí svatý muži, nechtěl bych bejbě jí kůži. Nám je to jedno a tak si dáme jedno a požadem si huby jako poslední den. Budem se bávy, panorama slávy a tak vypal sudy a posaď se mi sem. Tak posaď se sem a vypal je ven. Ukaž kozy jako vozy, zítra jen tu jsou nejdem. Tak nalej mi hned, až točí se svět.
Enough of this! Bailiff!
Come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can ride is me.
Enough! Men,
Хитрый
throw them out.
Oh. You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
Туфли со скиллом, боже.
Тихо, тихо.
Come on then, bailiff. You want to fight? Come and get it. Don't worry. Don't get any trouble. We'll just have a bit of a
I'm getting desperate now. You know what my old man is like? Nothing ever good enough. He always tells me no about everything I want.
Все, прилип. Да. Наступний, кто там? Так, до речі, там десь цей навик є. Куп'янство. Привичка пить. Повлияние коли ваши руки трясутся и навык быстро крышно. Когда трезвые руки трясутся. Угу. Пивная пьяница. И все это. Ксьондом не пив. Я брешу пив. Було розділо.
So, my dear, would you like to have a little ring on the bell? No sooner said than done.
I'd love to. And Henry, too, I'm sure. Right, Henry?
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
Say what they like. What do I care? What do they do to me? Here we are. Look at this beauty.
Oh. We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
This is wonderful.
Нормальный батюшка.
Ah, bloody oath. And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Господи, піввіри кіно дивишся.
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here.
The priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
Не для діток ігра.
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Треба було з ним навалити, що він мені розказав, де в тих чортів ловити.
Godwin, you beast! Get up! Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell.
Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Anyway, oh, shit, I have to say mass.
How?
I gotta say mass. You have to help me. Look, from what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. You just came from studying and...
Надоїло мені тут втикати. Що я кажу, що йому буду йому допомагати службу Божу вести, люди добрі.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yet. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what.
Christ almighty.
Wonderful.
Шантажист, блін. Так, чи ні? Який хер. Роздівайся. До церкви йду, на що мені зброя. Ну, штани хай будуть. Це нафіг. Ці хай будуть штуки. О. Треба. Колечко. Так. Смішний цвіточок.
Damn.
Песик тут. А тут і поїсти.
Look what I've got. You're...
Пса погодувати не даєш. Давай, пішов.
Never show up. The swill dog.
Look at him. He can hardly walk after his capers last night.
You were with them, you beast. Just you wait.
Look at him. Mother of God. Any minute now he'll throw up.
So I couldn't sleep a wink last night with all that clamor.
In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabiles amanus suas. Hac facite in meam commemorationem.
Ще один.
Brothers and sisters, you may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where by the grace of God,
Пропустимо це позорище. Немає.
Brothers and sisters.
That boy.
One should not believe in the church, because the church is not God. God is above all things, and the church is but a...
He's right.
It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth. Plague, enemies, injustice, and it is all due to the corrupt... They think sins can be washed away by money, and they sell indulgences.
Prague didn't do much for his confidence.
It is the custom of the gluttonous prelates and monks to preach against sin. But what do they know of a... Let us remember the marriage at Cana, where our Lord Jesus Christ himself feasted with the other guests and drank his fill. And when the wine was gone, he whose companions were poor travellers, simple folk, prostitutes and...
Now that's the kind of sermon.
No, brothers and sisters. Jesus did not condemn alcohol. Drink to lighten the... For there should be moderation in all things, and it is not...
He's right.
Enough about sin, which the prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose absolution... What if the devil himself were to pay? Will the bishops tell us he too? And what about those bishops? They sin without remorse, and with the money grasped from the poor for indulgences, they keep fine horses and hordes of servants. They play dice and garb their mistresses in expensive furs, while Christ, the Lamb of God, walked... Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor.
Down with the prelates! Away with them!
We're fortunate to have our good Father Godwin. At least he's a fair and...
I say to you, in the words of Jan Hus, he who knows much, let him speak much. Let each speak as much as he knows, and he who knows nothing, let him at least teach his neighbour one virtuous deed by setting... And that applies both to priests and...
That's his conclusion.
That is all I heard in Prague.
Наговорив. О, здорове харчування після такої п'янки. Улыбається як дурачок.
The lad spoke well, considering what a soak he is.
He's right, that was.
The young man shouldn't drink so much, but the Lord's given him a
I'm glad
silver
he
tongue.
came here. I don't suppose I'll ever get to Prague, and he told it nicely.
Well, well, my boy, you have talent, and I can't deny it. And you pulled a thorn from my side. I almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I noticed. I wasn't the only one.
Oh, what's to be done? I'll make it up somehow.
So, about our bargain.
Although it's a sin.
So gluttony and fornication.
God does forgive a penitent.
So, what did Limpy Lubos tell you?
Was he at Neuhof that day? Who was with him? And where are they now?
Now slow down. I'm sorry, but he didn't tell me that much.
Don't let me down after all I've been through. For you?
Well, now Lubos came to me shortly after it happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. And I must say, in the end, he turned out to be a better man than he looked. He said they'd been hired through some crony of theirs. And at first they were just to steal some horses. But then it all turned sour and people started getting killed. And neither he nor his cronies wanted anything to do with that. So they fell out from the gang and fled.
Fell out?
Yeah, there was a body found in the woods by Neuhof.
That would explain something. Lubos kept jabbering that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
So I know that Lubos killed the murderer and he's dead too. The trouble is, I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Only nicknames. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko, Pius, Timmy.
Pius. That lot are about as pious as I am ordained.
Nonsense. You would make an excellent priest. And anyhow, with your skills, you ought to be able to sniff out this Riki from Ledechko, right?
Well, we'll have to now. There's not much else to go on. Let's hope he's not hanging from the wall too.
Indeed. And I'd hate to be excommunicated for nothing. Anyhow, good luck. You watch out for yourself. These people clearly mean business. And I'd like to raise a tankard with you again sometime.
Yeah, I'll try. Although I'm not sure I'd survive another night of your debauchery.
And if anyone should ask, you heard nothing from me. I'll deny everything.
I don't doubt it.
Але священник, мощний. Опять турнір з п'ятий пропускає. Що він ще гойдає? Що виходиш? Жонки з корчми, давай працюйся на стороні мене.
Наш статічек!
Буховий. Чи ж це тобі? Окей. Треба дівати це все. А до хрена того всього. Церкві. Ага, що зброю. Куда мені ванючку там? Тут що? Ага. Так, штука. Окей. Кинь. Де ти басиш? Так, правильно діяти, що? Зараз нас балуна відпустить. Буде все круто. Так, на. Ей, свалі від них. Так, і що? Так, хто приходить на стрім, народ, не забувайте підписуватись на канал. Лайки, дізлайки, коменти. Буду радий любій активності на каналі. Саме головне, підпишіться на канал, тому що хочеться канал розвивати хоч чуть-чуть. Так, поки хоча б сотні людей не збирається. Підписники, то навіть нема чого щось думати далі на канал. Робити, не робити. Так, що я хотів? Ага, висловити ванючку. Записати в опис. Чик. Шукаємо кульгавого. Знайшли. Прибитим. До стіни. Шукаємо. Ванючку. Так, погнали. Що мені шукати? Ага, ці території Лілічка, так? Прошу. Ладно, добре. Шарлатан.
Good day to you. May the Lord watch over you.
Не питається в нього. До речі, йому, певно, можна продати траву. У мене там трави купа всякої різної.
Take care now.
Календула. В нашому стійкі. Шоп'яль. Кропива. Ще все. М'ята. 10 продав. Дуванчик. Що тут 5. Що тут було? Хай буде. Витити можна. Карта. Тоже прочитана в мене книжка. Окей. Зато йти в корчму знову питати. Корчмара, ти все знаєш. Корчмар.
Jesus Christ be praised. Take care now.
Страшно помню. А ну. И что у нас случилось? Алло. Мы зависли. Прикольно. Ладно. Так, на цій невеселій ноті ми, напевно, і закінчимо наш стрім. Дякую всім, хто приходив. Пізна година, тому все, всім па-па, на добраніч. Продовжимо, мабуть, завтра.